Alright, so picture this. You get a very nice looking pair of boots for Christmas, or you buy them for yourself. And you put them on and they fit way too loose, right? I mean, it's happened to all of us, right? Well, that's what's kind of going on with this boot right here. It's got three, counting, 1, 2, 3 insoles in it. And the thing is, it's still loose in the back area. So that means it's still not pushing up high enough on my foot. But I do, in fact, have a solution. Let's just tuck that in. So, this boot right here, I already did it for. Before you put in any inserts, you can put in a foam insert. This is a piece of foam board from Dollar Tree, and maybe before you put it in, just bend it up a bit, make it flexible. Otherwise, when you walk, it's going to sound like you're literally walking on eggshells, because that's just the noise it makes. So then, what you want to do, you want to kind of set it to make sure that it kind of fits the contours of the insole that you're mainly going to be using. So just like that. Now, tuck it down in the boot. And it may be hard since it's not, quite as flexible in all directions like the proper inserts are. And you can use a few of these inserts just as long as you have the proper, insole on the top of them all. But I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to use probably 1 or 2 of those, and then my insoles. Push that in. Make sure all the insoles are seated properly before you put another one in. You can stack 2 at a time as long as they're similar in size and go in properly. And then just put in your top one. Which it may be difficult now that there's so much space actually being taken up now. It may be difficult to get the last one in. Make sure it's seated. Now you can go ahead and make sure your microphone cord is out of the way, and you can put your boot right on. Now that should tighten it up. You might have to do a little fine work with, cutting and all that to make sure that everything all fits together in there. But basically, that's the best way to do it. But you will notice when you get into here that the back end of the top insole, it might start to crumble up right here. So you will have to work with that and somehow maybe cut it or something. I'm not going to get into that in this video because that's something you have to fine tune to your own feet. But let me show you how you make the insole. This one. So what you want to do, you need to take just the piece of foam board, take a pin. You don't want to use a Sharpie because it may leave marks on your boot. So the reason you use a pin is because it'll cut into the foam and you'll just get an outline of your outsole. Now I know your outsole is not going to fit inside of your boot, but this is just to give you a general idea. You can always go back and cut later. Now obviously it's probably best to do this on a table. That way you can get it done properly, I guess. Okay, so now you will have traced like a general idea of what needs to be cut. So you can go on over here, you can cut it out. I mean, seriously, cut it out, or I'm turning the car around, you know. Okay. Okay, so now you basically have kind of the general idea of the shape you need. You can peel the paper off if that's what you choose to do. I think that's what I'm going to do on both of mine. Not right now though, I just leave it like that for a while. So just with this, you want to do the same thing you did and kind of, you know, get it to the same shape, because you see when you put it in like this, it's going to be a bit difficult to get in, and then once you get it to your toe area, it's just not going to happen. Now you want to find your main, you know, insole right here. Now you want to take this little insert, you want to make it to where it just fits. Alright, you have to make it fit into there properly. So what I'm going to recommend taking this really thin right in the middle there, and bringing it back out. Okay, so now you see this. Make sure it fits properly. Fit like that. Cut it more on the toe area, just to make sure it all fits together smooth and clean. It doesn't need to be exact, it just needs to fit. Alright, so now that that's done, like I said, bend it up a little bit so it doesn't sound like you're walking on eggshells and all that. And then you're going to stick it down in the boot. Now, it may be a little bit loose, but that's okay. It's not going to move around once all the other insoles are in there. You probably shouldn't use tons of insoles, but the thing is, if they're the only boots you got and you can't afford to buy new ones, you got to have some kind of way to hit it. You got to have some kind of way to get it to fit. And some people say to use water and you know, heat, but I've watched a few other YouTube videos about that, especially some from Jeremiah Craig, and he actually talks to people who actually make cowboy boots, and you know, that's not going to work. He says it's because it'll stretch out the leather, which makes sense, that water would stretch out the leather. I mean, water does stretch things out. I mean, that's what it generally does. Get it? Generally does. But anyway. So, you're going to have a bit of a hard time probably with all these insoles, getting the top insole to fit in there properly, which is why, you know, like I said, you may have to cut it. That's the only option I'm seeing here. You can wear them like this, but I mean, it may get a little bit uncomfortable walking throughout your whole school day or whatever day or work day, or with that hitting the back of your foot. So it's going to fit a little bit snugger, but you might want to put a little extra support, because when you're walking, it's just the back of your heel is still going to come up. It's still a lot more snug than just the 2 insoles like I was walking around all day, and the 3 insoles, it's somehow even more comfortable, or even more uncomfortable, I mean, because you've just got literally the back of your heel coming up, and it just sucks. At least with the 2, your whole foot is coming up and you kind of feel it somehow. I don't know. But this just shows how much bigger these are compared to what they need to be, which is partially my fault, because I did say I needed 12s, because I wear 12s in every other boot. But these RockinLeather boots, they're a bit bigger, so you're supposed to order a size to a half a size smaller, and I didn't do that. I ordered 12s, and I believe I should have ordered 11s. And it does say that right on the website too. You probably see the glare in my glasses, which I hate that, but they do fit snug now, and even a bit snugger somehow right here. I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not sure how that happened, honestly, but they do fit snugger there. So if I wanted to, I could walk around like this with that covered. But why would I want to do that? That's the whole reason I bought them. Alright, so that's going to be a point I bring up in the next video I do with these boots, talking about, the boot tucked in, or, the pant over the boot. Everybody's got an opinion about that, but, I'll address that in a later video. So thank you for watching this one, and I will see you in all the other videos I do. And goodbye.